Hello Tarot family and welcome to my channel. My name is Laura. I'm from babycurltarot.com and this is a pick card reading for what lessons we need to learn during this upcoming Mercury retrograde. Now, for those of you who don't know what Mercury retrograde is, it is a period in time where Mercury seems to appear to be moving backwards versus its normal forward transition. So Mercury is not actually moving backwards, it's just an optical illusion with how the Earth is placed and the movement of the Earth at this particular point in time. So what does Mercury retrograde mean for us? It means that this is mostly a time to slow down, contemplate certain things. A lot of people associate it with negative things, but for the most part, this is a time to kind of slow down and just contemplate things we've learned over the last few weeks, months, years even. So this reading is going to be pointing out exactly what it is you may need to learn at this point in time. Mercury retrograde will be happening between May 29th and June 22nd. Now there is a shadow period before and after. It's about 2 weeks on both ends. So at this point in time, if you're watching right now, you may already be feeling some of the effects of Mercury retrograde, even though it hasn't started yet. So if you are feeling the effects already, it's time to slow down and start contemplating what it is you may need to learn. So let's go ahead and get started and jump right into the piles here. Go ahead, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. Ask yourself, your higher power, your higher self, or your spiritual team, what messages you may need to learn at this time. All right, for those of you that like to pick piles with objects on top of them, I've gone ahead and placed a few crystals on each of the decks for you to choose from. For pile 1, we have smoky quartz. For pile 2, we have this labradorite heart. For pile 3, we have this moonstone. And for pile 4, we have celestite. Go ahead and take a few more moments to choose a pile with the crystals on top. All right, I hope that was enough time for you to choose a pile. Go ahead and look down below in the description box for your timestamp, and I will see what you're reading. All right, pile 1, this is your reading, and here is the smoky quartz that you picked as well. Now, before I get into these cards, I did pull a card from the Numinous Astro deck just to get a little bit more information about where possibly in your houses or your planets or any other aspects you may have going on, where this lesson may be coming from. So the card that I pulled for you was Quincunx, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it's the card or the aspect of complexity. It says that this aspect is irritating, it's puzzling, mystifies, complicates, contradicts, clashes, misses the mark, requires translation, adjusts, makes curious, educates, and transforms. So what I'm getting from this card is that there is going to be a lot of interesting things happening for you at this point in time, things that may kind of clash and contradict each other. Maybe this is something that's happening within you personally and mentally. It may even not be something that is happening for you physically, with people around you or with certain situations that may come up. You may be finding these contradictions to be more internal than external. So that is the first card for your guys' reading. Let's go ahead and get started here with your tarot cards. So first you have the Page of Wands in reverse. So the Page of Wands in reverse for me typically is a very passionate spark or beginning to something very new, very young. If it represents a person, it could be a very young person. For you, Pile 1, I believe that this is possibly you starting something new, but the passion not being there. Okay. So let's see your next card. You got the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, Pile 1. 10 of Swords reversed. This talks about a lot of pain. A lot of pain, a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of hurt regarding something in the past. It's something that you do need to release, and I think this situation from the past is ultimately what is blocking your passion here. Let's pull another card and see what's going on here. Okay, we also got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So, Pile 1s. I am definitely getting the sense that there's something new, brand new, happening in your life or coming to you, or it has come to you already. With all of these cards in the reverse, it just feels like you are not putting into this opportunity what you could be. And for one reason or another, I think it comes back to a past situation that you need to kind of release. What's the word I'm looking for? Release some of the trauma, or that may be too extreme of a word, but some of the emotions and thoughts that you've developed since that situation, that kind of needs to be released in order for you to make this opportunity kind of grow and flourish the way that you know it could. Let's see what your next card is. So this was the card at the bottom of the deck, and this was the Page of Pentacles upright. Yeah, definitely something new came in recently for you, or will be coming in for you. What's interesting is you have 2 pages. So, and again, one's in the reverse and one is upright. 2 conflicting ideas, or 2 contradicting energies here. So on the one hand, you have this amazing opportunity, and Pentacles are the suit of stability, long-term growth, and establishing things that are going to last a very long time. And you have this Page of Wands in reverse. Page of Wands can be very hot, which means they can spark hot and start off very fiery, but they burn out also very quickly, if not tended to consistently. So it feels like there is maybe something that you were extremely excited about at one point. However, something may have happened recently, or I mean, it could have even been in the past couple of months or even a couple years ago for you guys. Something happened, and maybe it was something where it was a very similar situation, where things just did not end well for whatever reason, whether this was through the actions of someone else or maybe even through your own actions. Maybe you did something, made a mistake here or there, that kind of cost you the opportunity to grow something beautiful for yourself. Regardless, I feel like there was a lot of passion and a lot of happiness towards whatever it is that this new opportunity is for you. But it feels like this lesson either just hit you recently or it's going to be coming through for you during Mercury retrograde. And it may kind of stop you in your tracks a little bit and kind of dim that passion that you once had. And almost, oh man, I don't want to say that, but it's almost going to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Influence you to not put as much effort into it, so that way you're not disappointed when it goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's going to be your lesson. It's going to be either you learning how to kind of accept your failures and accept your downfalls or the downsides of whatever it is that happened in the past. Maybe this is, again, something within your personality or something that you are that you tend to fall short in terms of either knowledge or abilities. It's going to be up to you whether you embrace that and try to improve that in order to make this new opportunity work, or whether you just kind of give up before things even get off the ground here. Yeah, okay, it's gonna be a big lesson for you guys. Let's see what your other cards have to say. So your first card is get creative. All right. Yeah, get creative. So for me, this kind of comes back into the Page of Wands, the passion, just having pure passion for what it is that you do and being open to learning. If there's something that you don't know when it comes to this new opportunity and you may be a little worried about that, get creative. Look for ways to learn how to be better or improve a certain ability or piece of knowledge that you already have. Get creative in ways to kind of build off of that, or get creative in terms of finding ways to get around that. You know, if you guys are working on a team, say, at a new job, at a new company. Okay, being able to utilize other people's abilities and gifts is what a team really is all about. Understanding what other people are good at, so that way they can kind of fill in the gaps in where you tend to fall short. So getting creative can mean either learning from those people that have special skills or knowledge that you are maybe lacking, or getting creative in highlighting the things that you are good at as well. Okay, let's see. So the next card you got is Reflect. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of reflection here for you, as it will be for many of us during this Mercury retrograde period, but you're going to be doing a lot of reflecting on what happened in the past here. You're probably going to be analyzing what may have gone wrong, things you could have done better. And I'm not going to lie to you, some of you may have a really hard time with understanding how it is that you can improve upon things that maybe fell short or fell through here. But really, it's going to be up to you whether you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Whether you can take this opportunity to learn from past mistakes or past situations and turn them around in your favor in the new opportunities. Okay, so a lot of reflection. Definitely slow down. Don't try to push yourself or rush yourself into solving everything or solving all of your problems all at once, but definitely take some time to journal, write down the things that kind of come to you during this time period and see what it is that you can learn and work on. All right, and your next card, you got Paradox. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a paradox for you guys. So paradoxes can mean accepting two things that are extremely conflicting to be true at the same time. Okay, so with this paradox, I'm seeing you either accepting the fact that maybe you completely stink at doing something, and that's why you failed last time. However, accepting that you have shortcomings and you're not perfect and you don't have all the tools in your tool belt you need to be a perfect person. I say that with quotes because nobody is perfect. Accepting those shortcomings and those downfalls is going to help you also recognize the things that you are good at and the things that you can achieve by being imperfect, if that makes any sense. Excuse me. So yeah, kind of embracing the double-sidedness of our humanity and realizing that we are not perfect, but we are also fully capable and worthy of having things in our lives that make us happy and feel passionate as well. All right. Let's take a look at your next cards. You got Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Now, this doesn't matter what your spiritual beliefs are, but if you believe that you have a spiritual team, understand that you have people or guides or angels that have your back, and they're helping you through this time, okay? The universe has your back again. I think that came up in my last reading as well. All right, and finally you have yes. Just say yes, okay? There is a multitude of opportunities and blessings on the horizon for you. However, if you're too scared and you say no, you can't claim those blessings, okay? So I feel like Spirit and the universe wants you to just say yes to this new opportunity. Say yes to your flaws. Say yes to everything that makes you imperfect. And say yes also to the things that make you amazing, okay? So I would get a journal and start writing things down. Make a list of the things that you are self-conscious of, or whatever the case may be, things that you feel may be shortcomings. And then right after, make a list of all the things that you are good at and the things that you are proud of yourself for as well. All right, pile one. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you resonated with this reading and I hope it was helpful. If you do not resonate with this reading, that's okay. This may not just be your reading at this time. Maybe go back and select another pile if you'd like. Other than that, I hope you have a great Mercury retrograde and I hope to see you again next time. Bye. Okay, pile two. This is your reading and you chose the pile with the labradorite heart, which is absolutely beautiful. Okay. So before we get into these cards of yours, I went ahead and pulled another card from the Numinous Astro deck just to see if there were any additional planets or houses or aspects affecting your Mercury retrograde lesson. And you got the Ascendant card, which says Outlook. This is our worldview, our mission statement, expression, effect, role, mark, attitude, outer self, point of view, body image, aura, likeness, approach, impact, and first impressions. Now, if you don't know what your ascendant is, this is your rising sign. So when everyone talks about their sun, moon, rising signs, this is what they mean. This would be the sign that is in your first house. So if you haven't done a natal or birth chart with all of your planets and things like that, I highly recommend getting one done. There's a lot of sites that are free and you can get this information. So I would highly recommend looking into your ascendant or your rising sign to see if there are any interesting messages or things you may need to focus on at this particular time. All right, let's go ahead and get started with your tarot cards. So the first card you have is the 10 of Pentacles reversed. All right. So 10 of Pentacles reversed for me kind of talks about the possibility of not feeling secure or stable or kind of locked into something that you thought would be the end all be all, the end goal of a journey, a path, whatever it is you want to call it. So whether that is marriage for you, or if that is the career of your dreams, or retirement, or having children, whatever it was that was a major goal in your life, something that is meant to be stable and a rock, a foundation for us in our lives, it feels like there is possibly feeling either unstable or and again, this could be something that's coming up from the past, but a sense of instability in an area that should feel extremely stable. So let's look at your next card. Okay, you got the Six of Wands reversed. Okay, so Six of Wands reversed talks to me a lot about mistakes, or running into some issues, things not moving the way that they should be here. Very interesting. Let's look at the next card. Okay, you got the Ten of Wands, another 10. 10 of Wands upright. Okay, I'm starting to get a bit of a story here. 10 of Wands is very much talks about burdens, feeling like you're carrying everything on your own. All right, pile 2, let's look at our last tarot card and see what comes up. We got the Four of Pentacles, and this was the card that was at the bottom of the deck. Very interesting. Let's see here. Okay, sorry about that, pile 2. A little bit of a noise interference. However, let's go ahead and get back into your cards. So for me, pile 2, this feels very much like you are the type of person to shoulder great responsibility on your own with this 10 of Wands here. This may even feel like this is something you're very proud of. This may feel like this is something that makes your identity. This is who you are. You're someone who handles things on their own and handles it very well. Now, here's the deal, pile 2. While it's very great to be independent and to be able to take care of things on your own, we can't do everything by ourselves all the time, okay? This Four of Pentacles is very interesting. It feels like you may have had someone like a parent or someone that was very foundational for you growing up in your life that may have acted this way themselves. It's even possible they weren't very helpful when it came to giving you assistance, and therefore you felt like you had to do things on your own in order to get the things that you wanted. So if that resonates for you, just understand that that is not something that you should have to do on your own. You shouldn't have to do everything by yourself. Now, because you feel the need to do everything yourself or take on everything yourself, you are finding yourself not only exhausted, but it feels like you're missing out on a lot of opportunities just for growth and for getting the things that you want. It feels like it even feels like because you're doing so much and working so hard to get the things that you want or show people that you can do these things on your own, it feels like you've even shut out opportunities for love. And that's very difficult for me to say, but when you don't allow people to help you, you kind of push them away sometimes, right? So pushing away that opportunity for love, stability, and assistance is essentially kind of blocking. It's blocking the things that you want. And you may have this, but it's very hard to see when you have a bunch of things that you're walking around carrying. And it may be things piled so high, so many responsibilities, so many things that you're juggling right now that you can't even see past all the work that you have to do right now to really embrace and enjoy what it is that you have. So that may be something that you're reflecting on at this time. Let's go ahead and pull some more of your cards and see what messages come up. Okay, so you got destruction. Okay, so don't be scared. Pile 2, destruction is not a bad thing. This may mean that you're going to have to break down some of these limiting beliefs when it comes to success or enjoyment, fulfillment. You may need to break some of these ideas down in terms of how you receive them and how you gain them. Pile 2, destruction of these ideas is going to be a big theme for you during this Mercury retrograde. Let's see what the next card is. Wow, sacred sexuality. All right, spicy. Let's get it, pile 2. Sorry about that, pile 2. Another noise interruption. It feels like you guys have a lot going on. A lot of noise distractions right now during your reading. This seems to be a theme with my pile 2s. This happened in my other pick a card reading as well. So a lot of distractions for you guys, things that are blocking you from really tuning into your body and what it is that you need to feel fulfilled, okay? And things that you need to receive and not just give, okay? Giving is great, but sometimes it can be to the detriment of what it is that we also need to receive in terms of feeling good, feeling fulfilled, and feeling happy. All right, and the next card, we got Get Curious. All right, Get Curious. Get Curious, very interesting. I feel like Get Curious could be kind of stepping outside of your normal day-to-day routine, tasks, duties, and kind of explore things outside of what it is that you typically have to do. So whether this is exploring things, if you have children, I heard getting curious with your kids, going out and exploring different things, trying different things that kind of break the mold of our day-to-day life, as well as getting curious about what it is that actually makes you happy and what it is that makes you feel happy and fulfilled, honestly. Not always having to be on top of things and trying something new. Okay, let's take a look at some other cards for you guys. All right, you got Pleiades. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Interesting. So a lot of you guys may be intuitive. Some of you may be intuitive in that you have a mission to help others, and maybe that's why you feel like you have to shoulder so much responsibility taking care of others, helping them. However, I also feel like you need to take some time for yourself here. So a double mission in learning how to help others, how to channel what it is that others need, but also learning the lessons for yourself and how to enjoy your time here. Okay, let's see what the next card is. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. Okay, so some of you may be so burdened because you take on the responsibilities and emotions and pain of other people, and you never take time for yourselves. So I think this is definitely a call for you guys, my pile 2s, to kind of get grounded, take some time to reflect and spend time on your own, spend time away from the duties, the responsibilities, and the tasks that you feel you're responsible for, and really get grounded and love yourselves. Spend time recharging yourselves. All right, my pile 2s, that's what I'm seeing for you guys for this Mercury retrograde. I hope it resonated. I hope it was helpful. If you enjoyed this reading, go ahead, give me a like, a follow, a subscribe or a comment, and let me know what you thought. I hope you guys have a wonderful Mercury retrograde, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. All right, pile 3, this is your reading, and this is the moonstone that you chose. It's absolutely beautiful. So before we go ahead and get into these cards, I went ahead and pulled a couple of cards from the Numinous Astro deck, so I wanted to look at those cards first. So your first card was Semi-Sextile. It says allowing. Now this aspect talks about encouraging, seeing the potential in, clarifying, giving hope to, compensates, intuits, tempers, responds, cycles, grows, realizes, and rewards. And the other card you got was Uranus, the planet of revolution. Uranus talks about breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality, insight, awakening, technology, innovation, humanitarianism, reform, surprise, freedom, experimentation, the unexpected, rupture, edge, diversity, and lightning. So I highly recommend, my pile threes, looking at where Uranus falls in your chart at this time. This may have some answers for you during this Mercury retrograde. Look at what house Uranus is in. Look at which zodiac sign rules that house. And also, I have a feeling that your Mercury retrograde is going to be about embracing the unexpected. I feel like for you already, I'm getting this message of growth through change, and not being so attached to the norm or the past, okay? And that feels very Mercury retrograde for me. So let's go ahead and get into these other cards and see what messages come up. We're going to start with your tarot cards. And the first card you got is the Queen of Pentacles. A lovely queen, probably one of my favorite queens. The Queen of Pentacles is a nurturer. She's also seen as a very motherly figure. Some of you may be mothers or parents. Let's see what other cards we have. Okay, we got the Eight of Swords. Feeling trapped, feeling mentally trapped or stuck is coming up. Let's see what your next card is. Okay, we got the Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, so not taking enough time to rest or reflect on things that have happened. And let's see what the next card is. Next card is the Nine of Wands reversed, and this was the card at the bottom of the deck. All right. Let's see here. Okay, my pile threes, it feels like you guys have a tendency to, you guys have a tendency of not being able to move when something new comes into the picture. Again, this goes back to your other cards, the first two cards that we pulled for you. When there's a sudden change or a shift in something that you weren't expecting, something new kind of breaks up the monotony of the routine. You guys don't know what to do with it. Some of you guys may be fixed signs, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and I think Leo. I think Leo is the other fixed sign. You guys, it feels like you guys are so worried about taking on whatever is kind of being thrown into the arena here that you guys forget to rest, reflect, and kind of sit back and allow things to take place. And you try to attack it. However, when you do, it feels more of like I know I should be doing something, but I don't know what to do. And it stresses you out, essentially, is what I'm hearing. With this Nine of Wands in the reverse at the bottom of the deck, it feels like you guys are very resistant to change. And that needs to be something that is addressed for you guys during Mercury retrograde at this time. Some of you guys may be having a lot of things come up at this time that is going to make you very uncomfortable. And not in like a weird, stranger looking at you on the bus kind of a way, but just maybe, projects being thrown at you that you weren't expecting, or visitors that you weren't expecting. Whatever it is that may come up. It feels like there will be a bunch of things kind of coming at you that you're not expecting, and it's going to be up to you to either embrace or to try and put up those walls like you usually do. I heard I can't handle it. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm a fixed sign as well, so it's very difficult for me to embrace change, especially when I already have everything kind of laid out and planned out. However, this Mercury retrograde is meant to push you outside of that, okay? It's encouraging you to embrace growth through unexpected changes or happenings. Okay, and with this Queen of Pentacles, I do feel like this is you needing to kind of nurture yourself a little bit, give yourself some love, and to understand that we're not perfect. So if we make mistakes in the spur of the moment, it's not something to be ashamed of. Okay, that's what you know, growth is all about. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some additional cards here and see what you got. Okay. You got the Warrior. Yeah, I feel like I said that you guys tend to attack things or want to attack things in order to make that discomfort kind of go away. If I attack it and I take care of it right now, you know, I can't be, I know, no one can say that like I didn't try or that I didn't handle it to the best of my abilities. So for you guys, this warrior energy, I feel like may need to take a bit of a back seat at this point in time. Take a little bit more of a feminine approach, and you don't have to be a woman to kind of embrace your divine feminine, but kind of allowing things to grow and kind of forge its own path and just kind of go with the flow and see what happens instead of trying to control everything that takes place in your life. Okay, you also got the Sage. Okay, the Sage is a card about knowing and just understanding, a deep understanding. Okay, so some of you guys may be intuitive, but I feel like for a lot of you guys, learning to listen to your inner emotions, your inner voices is going to help you a lot through this time. Instead of listening to the warrior, look for the wisdom, look for the lesson that needs to be learned here. Okay, instead of attacking it and trying to make the discomfort go away, the discomfort is meant to make you wiser and grow. Okay, and finally we got higher perspective. Okay, so higher perspective kind of goes in with the Sage card here. Learning to look at things from a higher perspective, in that you're not so enmeshed in what's going on around you and feeling frantic and like things have to be done a certain way or have to be handled in a certain time frame, but taking a moment to kind of step back, look at the situation with clear eyes, without any emotions or feelings attached to it, to the outcome, and just kind of looking at everything and enjoying the view for one, but also trying to understand what the bigger lesson here is that's trying to be taught. Very cool. Okay, let's look at your other cards. Okay, you got the No card. It said wait, postpone, pause, and say no. Interesting. So some of you may have a problem with saying yes to things that you probably should be saying no to. That may be a lesson that's coming through for you guys as well. Some of you may also need to say no to that that first initial reaction, that is to either run away or attack or try to control things. You may need to embrace more of this Four of Swords energy here and take a moment to pause and wait, and say no to that that knee-jerk reaction, and say no, let's look at this a little bit differently. Let's see how we can handle this in a different way that's going to be beneficial to us. All right, and the next card you got, the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Okay, some of you, this is a really big lesson. This may even be a recurring theme, not just in past lives, if that's something that you believe in, but this may be a recurring theme in this lifetime for you guys. You may have been going through this lesson over several years, maybe even since you were a young child. You guys are learning how to break this cycle. Okay, so this is a cycle for you that needs to be broken. And I feel like this Mercury retrograde in particular is going to be the point in time where you can actually stop this cycle of behavior for you guys. Okay, let's look at your last card. And look at that, you got break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. I just said that, breaking cycles, breaking patterns. This may be something that your ancestors or people in your life, like your parents or your siblings, other people in your family, may experience themselves, and maybe it's something that you picked up on through being around them. This Mercury retrograde, this lesson for you guys is going to ask you to break that pattern. It's going to ask you to look at things from a different perspective and not be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. All right, my pile threes. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. I hope this resonated. I hope it was helpful. If it did resonate, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and subscribe to my channel as well. If this did not resonate for you, that's okay. This just wasn't the message for you at this time. Maybe go back and choose another pile. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye. All right, pile four, this is your reading, and this was the crystal you selected, the celestite, which is beautiful. So before we go ahead and get into these cards, I pulled a couple of cards from the Numinous Astro deck just to get any additional areas or ideas on where Mercury retrograde may be affecting you personally. So you got two cards. Let's go ahead and take a look. First, you got Capricorn. Capricorn is known as the boss. They're very serious, authoritative, ambitious, realistic, structured, traditional, wise, enduring, accomplished, badass, majestic, competent, prepared, down to earth, corporate, reserved, rigid, and disciplined. I would take a look and see if you are, well, maybe you are a Capricorn sun, moon, rising, but you may have other planets in Capricorn. I would also look into seeing what house Capricorn is in, and see if there's any messages you can find there as well. And you also got Pluto, the planet of transformation, renewal, inner resources, basic instinct, motivation, personal power, evolution, composting, cycles, death, rebirth, subversion, suspicion, obsession, intensity, reckoning, taboos, clearing, and extremes. Now, Pluto is typically associated with Scorpio, so I would look and see where you may be going through some transformations at this time. Look at where Pluto falls into your chart, which house it falls into. But I do know that Pluto is also retrograde right now, so there's going to be a lot of lessons in that alone. So you may be getting kind of a double whammy with Pluto and Mercury retrograde at the same time. So again, I am getting a strong sense of transformations for you, and this may come up in the house of career and what's the word I'm looking for? The house of reputations. There we go. It took me a minute, but I got it. That is the house that is ruled by Capricorn. That's the 10th house. Now, it doesn't have to be in that house, but with Capricorn being here, I figured that that may have something to play into it as well. So let's go ahead and pull the rest of your cards and see what is going on for you guys during this Mercury retrograde. Now I want to go ahead and start with your tarot cards, and the first card you got is the Five of Cups. Okay, off to an interesting start. The Five of Cups talks about losses. Can also talk about depression, feeling sad over a loss of some kind. Let's take a look at your next card and see what else comes up. We got the Two of Swords reversed. All right. Feeling stagnant in a decision. This may be coming out of some sort of sadness regarding a loss. Let's look at your next card. Wow. Okay, we got the High Priestess. High Priestess is a powerful card. She's a major arcana card. So this is a major lesson for you, and I feel like it's going to be a lesson in terms of listening to your own intuition. Let's see what your final card is. Wow, we got the Justice card. All right, and this was the card at the bottom of the deck. Wow, wow, wow. Pile four. Let's take a look here and see what's going on. All right, pile fours. So what I'm seeing here, particularly with the Justice card, is that themes of fairness, equality, or justice may be coming up for you in this Mercury retrograde. Some of you may have some very strong placements in Libra, which rules the Justice card, so I would look into that as well. I do feel like there may have been situations where you feel like you ended up on the wrong side of what you consider to be fair. So pile fours, I feel like this Mercury retrograde is going to bring up what it is that makes you feel like you are doing in terms of receiving justice and receiving the things that feel balanced to you. I feel like as well, pile fours, there was a lot of missed opportunities here with the Two of Swords in reverse. It feels like there were times where you feel like you weren't sure what to do or how to move forward in a particular situation, and it ended up having the decision being made for you. And that also can feel unfair in a lot of ways. However, pile fours, I feel like this particular lesson is going to be showing you to open yourself up to going with your gut a lot more. I apologize for that. I feel like this Mercury retrograde is going to be pushing you into really tapping into your gut feelings and your intuition with this High Priestess here. Pushing you to make these decisions so that way you don't feel like decisions are being made for you. Okay, so that comes up. Let's take a look at your other cards and see what additional messages we have here. All right, pile four. So the first card you got was the Magi. So the Magi for me kind of ties in with this High Priestess card here. The Magi card is calling you to start to look deeper into yourself, deeper into the things that you may think you know, but even going further past the things that you've been taught or have learned thus far in life, and going even deeper into what we feel the actual truth is. Now, this again can be tapping into intuition. This can be tapping into studying and learning more, studying deeper into the things we think we already know. Just taking things a little bit further instead of just stopping at you know, the typical answer we usually bring up for ourselves and for others. Yeah, okay. Let's see. We also got the Creator. Wow, so the Creator. I feel like this card right now for you guys is saying that you are the creator of your own destiny. You are the creator of what happens in your life. And this is a time period for you to be taking control of how your life plays out. You are not a victim of life. You are the puppet master, believe it or not. So taking control over your life and making the decisions instead of allowing them to be made for you is going to be a big theme for you guys as well during this time frame. Okay, the creator of your own destiny, of your own path forward. And finally, you got Ascension. Okay, yeah, so a lot of transformation here, especially with the Pluto card that came out. You guys are going to be ascending possibly into a newer version of yourself, into a higher version of yourself. If you're willing to tap into it, if you're willing to learn the lessons, if you're willing to dig deeper, if you're willing to open yourselves up to newer things, to newer ways of thinking, to new knowledge, it's completely up to you. Are you going to be the creator, or are you going to allow things to continue as they have been? All right, let's look at your next cards here. You got Starseed. What lights you up? Some of you very well may be star seeds. However, here, I think that this card is saying that you guys are way more tuned in and way more active in creating what it is that you want to see happen in your life than you think. Pile fours. What makes you happy? What lights you up? What sparks joy in you? Okay, I think Marie Kondo. What makes you happy? What makes you excited? What makes you want to learn? What makes you want to push forward? These are the questions you need to ask yourself when it comes to decisions that you're facing. What is it that you want to see take place in your life? You have the control, and I feel like you guys are going to be my pile that is going to be learning how to take back the reins. Okay. Wow. And the final card, you got boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Interesting. Okay, so again, this goes back into taking control of your life. Are you allowing people to make decisions for you? Are you acquiescing to everybody's request? Because if you feel like you can't stand the idea of hurting people's feelings, boundaries are extremely important, and saying no is extremely important as much as saying yes is as well. Setting up those boundaries, and again, deciding what it is that makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy is going to be really important for you during this Mercury retrograde. All right, my pile fours, that is what I'm seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, please leave me a like, leave me a comment, and subscribe as well. I hope that, again, you enjoyed this reading. If this did not resonate for you, that's okay. This just wasn't the message meant for you. If you'd like to go ahead, go back and select another pile and try again, that would be highly recommended. But again, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.